Live again today. It's going to be a doozy. There are going to be so many resources that I link underneath this video. So when you watch live with me, which, hello, I'm happy you're here. This is something, so sidebar, sidebar, sidebar. This is something that we do every single Sunday. So every single Sunday at 10 o'clock here in Los Angeles, so that's 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time in the United States. I'm sorry, I'm not international enough to know what that is, like London time and Gambia time and Zambia. Anywho, I don't know what that means anywhere else in the world, but if you happen to find this video, welcome on in. So what I'm hoping to offer through going live every Sunday morning here in LA is to give you a gift, to give you a place and a ritual and an environment and a community and information and support and positive energy for your health journey, so that you can remember each week that you care about being healthy and that you can recommit to healthy habits, different things like that. I have a lot of my babes who come in here, and speaking of a lot, y'all, we have over 130 dirt off your shoulder, 130 subscribers when I saw it earlier today. So over 130, which made me really happy. Oh, hello there. How are you? I see a lot of hearts. Thank you so much, which reminds me, please double tap, get those hearts going, hit that like button. Leave comments, questions, whatever you have that helps me know what's getting across and what's not and what you need, and also helps the algorithm, the mighty algorithm, know that this is like a real legit thing and people are here and that it's good vibes. So what did I tell you? We have over 130 today. Oh yeah. So when you come here, I have a lot of my babes who say that they use this time that we have together to do something healthy for themselves. Like, oh, I do my face routine. I do a deep clean on my skin, or I, maybe do my hair wash day and I start that during the huddle, or just something. I go for a walk, or I clean up my space, some kind of a healthy thing. Something positive for yourself that you can do during this time. But I always encourage you, after I'm done chatting and we're done answering questions and stuff like that, please, 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 please spend some time with yourself and your health and your wealth and your well-being. Because when we talk about health here, we're not just talking about physical health. We're talking about mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationship health. The big topic today we're going to be talking about is like anxiety, and so that has to do with like stress management and how you're handling your daily life, those kinds of health issues and topics. Also sexual health is a thing. So when I talk about health, I mean the wholeness of you and your life and your well-being. So it can touch anything basically in your life. But when I'm done chatting, I really, really do hope that you will take a few minutes, set an alarm. If you don't want to, like, oh, I don't know how much time, set 3 minutes, set 5 minutes, set 10 minutes. Journal, meditate, breathe deep, make a list of things that you need to do, or anything that's going to help you feel healthier, more pulled together, more energized, more on top of your game, more in love with yourself, more optimistic, more uplifted about life. Take this time on these Sundays right around this huddle to do that. So I encourage you to do that. I thank you for being here and showing up for yourself, baby. And today I have so many resources. So after I upload the video, it takes me a little bit, maybe like, I don't know, within 30 minutes to an hour, something like that, maybe less. Today it'll be less because I already started the description. I have so many links, so many resources and links that I'm going to be offering to you. So you do have those coming. If you don't, you're not going to see them right now because I'm still doing the live, but afterward I'm going to be linking to so many of the resources that I'm doing here, because anxiety is our topic today. And oh, is it a doozy? Man, are people anxious and stressed out? Hello, Boxed. How are you? Oh, thank you, love. I appreciate that. Hi, Matt. Thank you so much. Back to you, sweetie. It is better to be in a paper plane than in golden shackles. I don't know. It depends. Can I slip out of those shackles and melt them down and sell them and like still sell that gold? I think it's trading pretty high right now. Mwah. Thank you so much for your comments. I appreciate y'all being here, giving me some energy. If you hit that like button, that'd be great. But let's get into our topic. So I'm going to give you my breakdown on anxiety, and I'm going to tell you at the top right now, and I've got a lot of experts and people with like super credentials and stuff who are also going to get some information from them. But I do want to say this. I'm going to give you tools today. I'm going to teach you things that you can do to bring down anxiety because it's not just in our head, right? Anxiety happens in our physiology as well, in our bodies. So I'm going to give you a ton of that stuff that you can do during today, and you can take that and put in your tool belt, in your back pocket, whatever, and walk through life with it. That's fantastic. But if you really have anxiety as an issue in your life, and you might not know that you do, the first thing I'm going to tell you in a second is top 10 things that are really anxiety that don't seem like anxiety. So maybe even if you don't identify as an anxious person, you might recognize yourself in some of these behaviors. We're going to give you a bunch of stuff today in this huddle, but after this, I really want to encourage you, especially if anxiety is something that is a recurring theme in your life, take some of these resources that I'm going to give you in the huddle that I'm going to link after and all of that, and actually begin your own journey to transcend this anxious kind of part of your life. Hi, Troy. How are you? I know I missed some of the hellos. Oh, Lawrence is here. That makes me happy. Yay, my paper's happy too. Happy to see you. Hi, Lavanya. Happy to see you too. Good to see you. Sabrina. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Big kisses. Great to see you. Hello, Thad. It's good to see you. All right, so that cheerleader, I love it. All right, so the first thing I want to tell you about anxiety, and we're going to get into the 10 surprising things that you might be doing or participating in that are anxiety, but you might not recognize it. Essentially, the simple breakdown of anxiety, I'm going to tell you in my words, is it's just your brain asking, are we okay? That is the brain's main job, is to know, are we okay? If we're not okay, what resources do I need to dispatch to make sure we are okay? Let's see here. You're so silly. We got some people with a sense of humor in the house. All right, I'm here for it. So when the brain is asking, are we okay? The brain is assessing, is there threat happening or am I safe? Where are we on the spectrum of safety to threat? So a threat, though, could be linked to a past trauma that happened, and trauma could be big trauma. They say trauma with a capital T or trauma with a lowercase t. So a huge trauma, like I was in an accident, or I went through something, really, really painful. I had, a really traumatic relationship with a loved one, or some horrible thing happened. Thank you for the hearts, babies. Mwah, 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 sending them back. That could be big trauma like that. It could be smaller nagging trauma. Maybe I had a parent, there goes my earring. I had a parent who was critical or who was on edge themselves and would, make me always feel like I had to walk on eggshells. That is traumatic as well. So there's a lot of different types of trauma. It could be I got bit by a dog, or, I just got embarrassed in school, or so. It could be all kinds of things. Past trauma could be a threat because the brain is scanning the environment to say, hey, is something like that going to happen again? It can be that kind of thing. Or it could be, is there a car, coming around this corner or something like that. It could be a lot of different things. It could also be my future. I'm imagining my future. There's some threat in my future. I'm going to fail this test, or this person's going to reject me, or so we could be projecting into the future. We could also be dealing with the reality of our life. These are all threats. Oh my God, I have so much to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't have money, or I don't have time, or I don't have whatever. I don't have help. Oh, I know I'm going to have an uncomfortable conversation with, my person I'm in a romance with, or something like that. Self-talk can be its own threat. How we're talking to ourselves, getting down on ourselves like that can make us feel unsafe, right? Because we're creating an unsafe environment. I'm afraid I'm going to fail at whatever. I'm not going to be the fastest one at basketball practice today. It's whatever. So it's always about some kind of assessment about whether we're safe or we're under some kind of threat. And anxiety goes, there's so many kids right now who have anxiety, kids in middle school, kids in high school, probably even younger kids, sadly, but kids experience anxiety all the way up to people who are in, many advanced generations ahead experience anxiety too. Anxiety can create a really painful loop with chronic pain. That can be an anxiety issue too. So a lot of us are experiencing anxiety on a daily basis, and the idea is to come into safety. If you think that you are under threat, but you look around, you go, really, there's no actual threat right now. The idea is to bring yourself into a sense of safety in your physical body, in your mind, in your awareness, and to communicate with the brain effectively, like, hey, we're all right. So that is, hi Gus, how are you, baby? Good to see you. Hi Chandra, nice to see you. Let's see here. Lavanya says, is that part of anxiety when I don't want to be in crowds? Sure. It could be a threat, right? Being in a crowd of a big crowd of people. What if I can't escape? What if something happens? Who are these people? What if I catch a cold or something? I would imagine that definitely could be oh, backyard dog racing league, big muscles. How are you? Good to see you here. You know I love you. You know I do. We actually had a good talk about anxiety in our chat. So I know that you know a lot of these tools and stuff already. So let's first of all talk about, so my big picture for you is you got to make real life changes sometimes. If there is too much on your to-do list, you got to shift that around. I always encourage everybody, my central message is you can do it. I want you to feel empowered. I want you to take your power back. So if you're finding yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, failure, this, that, and the other, oh, it's going to be terrible, or this person's going to do this to me, or this person's going to do that to me, you got to find a way to take your power back in your own mind, to have your own boundaries around you, inside of yourself, to decide that this is not going to run you. You have to like work with yourself. So today is like a beginning step on your journey to transcend this anxiety kind of like bullying you or whatever in your life. I want you to take your power back and I want you to own your life. It is your life. It is given to you from Mother Nature, and it's really a relationship between y'all too. So anybody who's trying to get in the way or diminish the pleasure or joy that you have in your life, diminish your authenticity, you got to learn some self-defense strategies internally so that they don't run you, but you run you, because you deserve it. It's your life. What are you talking about, Chris? Thank you, Kenny. I'm in LA. Thanks, doll. Okay, we've got some philosophers here with us today. Okay, so let's go over 10 surprising signs or things that are actually anxiety that don't seem like anxiety. Number one, procrastination. Did you know that? Procrastination is not laziness, it is nervous system overload. Sometimes the brain will try to avoid tasks that it feels threatening, like we talked about a second ago, to identity, self-worth, etc. Irritability, snapping at other people can actually be just a sign of being, of having anxiety. It's like you've got this energy inside your body, you don't know what to do with it, and so you start, growling at people and stuff like that. Perfectionism is a way of trying to have control and stay safe. That is anxiety. Overthinking, replaying, looping conversations in your mind is a way to try to assess the danger or contain the danger in some way. Also anxiety, trouble sleeping, especially falling asleep or staying asleep. Again, the nervous system is in that fight flight kind of state and it can't relax. Digestive issues can even lead to anxiety because of the gut-brain connection. Avoidance and indecision can be anxiety. So if you see yourself doing that or zoning out, forgetfulness, constant phone checking and phone scrolling can be a sign of anxiety because it's a micro distraction that can kind of mimic a self-soothing tool. So that is, where's your other, are you a girl or guy? I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't want to assume your gender, but I'm gonna just say girl. Girl, it fell out. She rolled down, she's over there on the floor. So I'm just gonna let her be. She obviously didn't want to work today. Okay, no, but that makes sense. So hi. Okay, so there are a lot of different tools, and I've got some. We're going to share some. I'm going to link some. But what I want you to take away from this is you have to find your personal way. Your physiology is unique. Your history is unique. You got to find the tools that are high payoff for you. You got to find the things that will bring your anxiety right down when it's important to you. So and we're going to talk about it in a second. I saw even like Lady Gaga was talking about something that she does for anxiety, just a little physical tool. Now, the cool thing about anxiety is because it doesn't just live in the mind. It's not just so super vague in the mind. It actually does take place in the body as well. We get adrenaline, we get tension, we get different things that actually manifest in the body. And because the brain is scanning the body to understand how safe we are and not, we can actually communicate back up to the brain through the body. So what I mean is a lot of times you can bring your anxiety down through your body. So let's talk about some of the ways that is possible. So I mentioned Lady Gaga a second ago. So who's ready to participate this morning? Who's ready for a little hands-on action? So Lady Gaga has this eye trick that I saw her do. And so what it is, you're gonna cover your left eye, whichever is your left eye. You're gonna cover your left eye. You're gonna look up slightly with your right eye and breathe slowly. So very simple. So you're gonna cover your left eye, look slightly up with your right eye, and then just breathe slowly. From your diaphragm if you can. I can already feel it bringing my energy, like calmer. I feel amazing. Okay, that actually worked for me. I didn't even feel like I had anxiety, but it was certainly soothing. Certainly soothing. So why this works is that it engages the right hemisphere of the brain. And it turns out that the right hemisphere of the brain is like the creative side, and you can't be in a creative state and also be in an anxious state at the same time. They don't know each other. So that is one tool that you can do that is really good. I listened to a talk given by Gabrielle Bernstein, and I'll link it under this after I post the live. And it was free on Audible. I don't know if it's free for everybody. I already had an Audible account, so I'm not sure why they gave it to me for free, but it was a 90-minute talk, and she went through a ton of different really effective tools as well. So I will link that in addition to the ones that we are doing today. Hi, Mama Mia. Mwah, big kiss, honey. She says, I felt the calmness. Yes, baby. I'm so happy to hear that. Motorcycle chick. 1,000 kisses to you, my love. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to see you, baby. Hello, hello, hello. Kim says, nice. Hi, Kim. Mwah. Big hugs and kisses to you, my love. Let's see here. Very, very smart stuff. Thank you, Scotty. Coming from very, very hot stuff, that feels really good. Backyard Dog Racing League says, I'm going to use that technique with an iPad when doing social media creating. That is dope. Ooh. I like that. Good idea. I only mess with the best, right? I got the most creative, smart people here. Let's see here. Motivational Hub. Well, thank you, Beauty. I appreciate that. Motivational Hub. And I said beauty. I don't know if that's applicable. Beautiful in spirit, either way. Scotty says, I have also done taking a 10-minute nap. Amen. Sleep. Yes. If you can do that, baby, even just lying down, closing my eyes, totally restores and resets my nervous system. Absolutely. Absolutely. Think about like what could be more of a communication to your brain that everything's okay than laying down and totally relaxing to the point of being able to sleep for 10 minutes. And if you ever listen to Abraham Hicks, they always talk about how sleep is like a total release of resistance. And a lot of like genius inventors and stuff use naps throughout the day. They'd go to sleep with the problem and then wake up, thinking like, what is the solution to this problem? And then when they wake up from a nap, like what you're suggesting, the answer would be right there. And there are all kinds of metaphysical reasons that people say that can happen. But yeah, I've heard that before. I'm missing some of you, some of your messages, but I'm happy that you're here. So if I miss it and you want me to see it, go ahead and put it again. Let's see here. 2, Joy Dip. Thank you for asking. 1 in each lobe. It fell, Blake, my earrings over there. I had 2. She quit. She's like, I'm not doing this today. It's Sunday. And I was like, whatever. And she just rolled out. And now she's on the floor. Let's see here. Only, yes, but no earring in left ear. It's not a sign or symbol of anything. Literally, if you watch this from the beginning, my earring just fell out. It's not like coding for anything or anything like that. Okay, so there are also, I appreciate y'all being here. There are also a lot of different breathing techniques that you can use to calm the system. Now, I was promoting diaphragmatic breathing a little bit ago. If you can breathe from the belly under your diaphragm, that's what called diaphragmatic. Sounds very fancy, but it's just belly breathing. So you can breathe from you can do really shallow breaths where you kind of your shoulders and your lungs and or you can try to breathe from your belly where your belly, if you were looking at you from the side, your belly would actually go out and in because you're expanding your diaphragm and then contracting, expanding and then contracting. And that's like supposed to be a really healthy way to breathe, a very relaxed way to breathe. And it sends, again, a signal to your brain that says, hey, everything's okay. We don't have to, we're not freaked out. We're calm. Breathing through the nose, another signal to calm. And I've always heard, and it's true in the exercises we're going to talk about here, a longer exhale than your inhale. So if you don't remember all the counts of the breaths and stuff like that, just remember if you can exhale longer than you inhale, that is a good signal to the brain, to let your brain know everything's okay. Backyard Dog Adventures. Hold on, you changed it on me. Backyard Dog Adventures says, when you get writer's block, you get anxiety about it. If you don't put the eye patch on the left eye, take a walk, you force your brain to go into creative space. Oh, I see. Oh, that's smart. That is smart. So for writer's block or any kind of a creative stagnation, he's saying, cover that left eye, go for a walk. force yourself to get into that creative side. I love that. That's great. And when you breathe deep, like I was telling you, also you get oxygen to the lower parts of your lungs, and there are receptors there that help to, I guess, oxygenate the brain in a different way, something like that. That's supposed to be really good. Danielle says Nadi Shadhana, I hope I pronounced that right, is the same concept. Is this this is some meditation thing, sophisticated meditation thing that I don't know about, but I love it. So Nadi Shadhana. Okay. I appreciate it. I love you. I'm gonna have to look it up, babe. Thank you. Let's see here. Do I know about ear acupressure and ear acupuncture? I only know of it. I don't really know too much about it, but I would imagine anything dealing with acupressure points, meridian points like EFT, meridian tapping, that can also be big, big anxiety relievers. All right. Thank you so much, Nessa Cape. I appreciate you, my love. Okay. So a couple of breathing tools. So 4-7-8 breathing. I've heard of 5-5-5, like all kinds of different breathing things. But basically you inhale for 4, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. So let's try it together. We're gonna go 4-7-8. So inhale, hold, and exhale. So 4 in, 7 hold, and then 8 out. So in for 4, hold for 7, and out for 8. All right, that's one thing that you can do. The voo sound or humming can also bring anxiety right down. So voo. That is supposed to stimulate the vagus nerve and calm you down really fast. So let's try voo together. Voo. That's a good one. It feels good to me anyway. Shaking is a natural one. Animals shake. All of us shake when we're shaking off trauma. If we go through something terrible, you know, people shake afterwards. That's a way that the body releases tension and brings everybody onto a good place. Even dance, you know, sometimes you can do static dance, different things like that. It really is that staccato movement of getting energy out of the body. So sometimes we can shake our hands, shake our arms, shake our legs, stomp our feet, shake, if we can lay down and put your feet up and shake your legs, all that kind of stuff. That can sometimes just get that energy out of your system and help bring your anxiety down as well. There's also something called orienting, where you look around the room very slowly, find 3 colors and 3 shapes. So I could look around and I could say blue, tan, gray. Those are 3 colors, and I could find 3 shapes. Circle, cylinder, I'm gonna find different shape, rectangle. The idea behind it is that you're calming yourself down. You're just looking around your space and orienting, grounding yourself in your space just by saying, wait, there's are gray curtains, this is that. Because sometimes people with anxiety, they get spun out and they're kind of dissociated from the reality that's around them. So that is another that's another thing that we can say. Breathing technique in yoga. I was trying to think, I was like, what does that sound like? And I was gonna say like Ayurveda, and I was like, that can't be Ayurveda. Yoga. Thank you, beauty. I appreciate that, Danielle. We have some wise, meditative, metaphysical minds with us, so I'm thankful for that. A motorcycle chick says, I actually did do that to stop my hiccups. Deep breathing. Oh, well, hiccups will make a person feel anxious for sure, so that's really good. Spencer, what's up? How are you, Spencer? Atlanta, Georgia in the house. What's up, Spencer B? Thank you for saying hi. So we're talking about anxiety today, and I'm giving y'all like a bunch of little hacks that you can use to start like releasing anxiety ASAP. But if anxiety really is a thing for you, I want this to be a starting place for you. I'm gonna put a ton of great resources in the description after I upload this live, and I want you to come back here and use it as a starting place. There are people who have written books about how to get this stuff out of your body, and it's just so important, because when we don't feel safe for years on end, it really becomes deleterious for our health and our well-being and the quality of our lives. And you deserve to live the richest, most exhilarating, authentic, indulgent, delicious life that you can live. And so we got to learn how to be in our bodies and in our minds in this 3-dimensional reality that we're experiencing right now. So this stuff will help get us out of anxiety and get there. So Dr. Andrew Huberman, I know a lot of people know about him, says to take 2 quick inhales through the nose and 1 long exhale through the mouth. That one kind of makes me feel high. Okay, so 2 quick inhales through the nose, 1 long exhale through the mouth. He says that this rapidly reduces the CO2 in the bloodstream and calms the nervous system. All right. Allegedly, it is proven to show greater anxiety reduction than regular slow breathing. There's also the havening technique. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Now this I think is so interesting. I've seen a few people talk about this. You gently stroke your arms, your face, or your hand while repeating calming phrases. So it says it helps to depotentiate anxious memories and triggers using delta waves. So I don't know too much about it, but you should check into it if you are curious. The havening, Havening, havening technique. Hi, the Lord saves. How are you? Thank you. Yes, I feel very loved. Okay. I saw some other strange messages. Okay, cold face exposure. You can hold a cold pack or splash your face with cold water. That is supposed to trigger the dive reflex, which is instant vagus nerve stimulation. I don't know why diving would make us instantly calm, because you'd think you'd have to get up to swim, but whatever. Any kind of bilateral stimulation. So walking, bilateral, meaning both sides of the body, right? Your feet are doing like this, your arms are doing like this. So walking while tapping alternate sides of your body, or cross crawl with rhythm. So the cross crawl is where you do 1 arm and 1 leg up, and then you switch into the other way. You can do your wrists and your ankles like this. Anything bilateral like that, they say, I guess, is supposed to be good. And heart coherence. This is the last breathing one I'm gonna give y'all, but I thought this was really good because it comes from the Heart Math Institute, and they are really some of my favorites. So you're gonna breathe in, we're gonna do it together, you're invited. We're gonna breathe in for 5, and then we're gonna breathe out for 5, but the focus is gonna be on the heart area and the feeling of care. So you wanna conjure the feeling of care, have your energy focused on your heart area, and we're gonna breathe in for 5 and out for 5. So let's try it. And out. Okay, it actually felt really good. Focus on a feeling of care, put your energy on your heart chakra. 5 in and 5 out. Okay, that is like a drug for me. I could totally feel that one. All right, I really like that one. So that's heart coherence breathing from the Heart Math Institute. Again, I'm gonna link, and I've linked her before, Elisabeth Kristoff has brain-based wellness. She has a lot of drills that maybe work with the joints, the eyes, different things like that, breath, to help the brain rewire and get out of that threat response that is so key with anxiety. There's Dr. David Berceli with the tension and trauma release exercises. So I have one of his books. When I was doing research, I was like, oh, I read that book. So this is called the Revolutionary Trauma Release Process. Now, I'm just showing you this book to because if I remember correctly, he did a lot of research for this book going to, I want to say it was Rwanda, some country that had had a ton of wartime trouble, and people were really obviously, you know, had gone through it. Thank you for the hearts. Mwah! I love it. I'm sending it right back. Hi, nice girl. How are you? Hello there, Angry Alex, editor maker. Nice to see you. I love the names. But people who have really just seen things that human beings like aren't really equipped to see, he was able to bring people together in community and for free, just by teaching people how to use their bodies, using the psoas muscle, certain shaking motions that you could do. He was actually able to help people essentially get past the triggering part of the trauma. Of course, you're going to grieve. Of course, you're going to go through things. You're going to move the emotions through your body. But in terms of just being stuck in a traumatized place, this David Berceli, I think is how I pronounce it, how to pronounce the last name, wrote a whole book on just how to get trauma out of the body, like deep seated. So I just bring that up to say, like, I really believe no matter what we've been through, Mother Nature provides a way. There's a way for us to heal. I feel like always. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. And then there's somebody else who I'm going to link, Alan Gordon. He came up with something called somatic tracking, which is pain reprocessing therapy, which I wanted to bring up for anybody who has chronic pain. There are a lot of people who are, and I've heard about this a lot when in looking at the brain and different things, that a lot of what we experience as pain, and I know a lot of people have chronic pain where the pain just doesn't stop. A lot of what we experience as pain is, I'm not saying it's psychosomatic. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it is signaled by the brain. The brain essentially creates the pain to protect us, keep us from moving too much or doing things that the brain perceives as a threat. And so really, if you have chronic pain, I know Alan Gordon wrote a book, I'll link it below, but there is a whole world of research that could help you help soothe your brain, teach your brain that brain is safe, we're safe, everything is okay, and rewire your neurons in your brain so that you can not have to have the pain, you not have to have your brain trying to protect you by making you feel pain if you try to do something that the brain thinks isn't safe. So really exciting for people who have chronic pain. I also put, and I'm not going to go through these with you, but there will be, it's not a list like this, it's in a table form. I'm going to link a download for you if you are looking for some proven natural substances for anxiety relief. This is not, we don't say substances are like a substitute for therapy or different things that you need, but sometimes we're actually low in something. I know I used to get really irritable and I'd snap at my little cousins and stuff like that when I was helping. Like I would be cooking dinner for them or doing this and that, and I would just be just like an ogre. And I started taking GABA, which is one of the things on the list here. It says it's controversial because they don't know if it crosses the blood-brain barrier. I don't know either, but I know that GABA will calm me right down. And I was just able to function and not go into a space of irritability because I was, anxious due to not having the right chemicals going in my body. Now, why I wasn't making enough GABA, I don't know. But I put a ton of resources. This is the resource sheet that I'm going to link underneath, or that's the list of resources that's going to be linked underneath this video. But I just wanted to inundate you today with tools and resources that I will link under here so that you can know that your anxiety or the anxiety that you experience doesn't have to be permanent. It doesn't have to be something that you're always dealing with. It doesn't have to be something that defines you or your life experience. It is something that you can heal from. It's something you can transcend. It is a natural protective thing that we're equipped with, but we do also have a responsibility and an honor that we get to participate with taking care of our body. So I just want to give that to you, tell you that I'm thankful that you showed up today. Thank you for listening. That was a half an hour of me just giving you tools and perspectives on anxiety. But I think it's really important today. I know there are a lot of people who are experiencing a ton of anxiety. And I'll just leave you with one last thought, which is be selfish enough to not look at everything around you despite life trying to tell you that it's important. You have to make yourself the most important thing in your life. Your survival, your well-being, your thriving has to be more important to you than other people's agendas. Because not everybody, not every news source, not every political party, not every corporation, not every whatever it is, has your well-being as its highest value. So I encourage you to have your well-being as your highest value, and that way you will be able to prioritize yourself even when they are competing for your attention, and they don't mind stressing you out because they know it keeps you scrolling, or because they know it keeps you paying attention to their advertisements, or they know it keeps you engaged, they know it keeps you pouring your energy into their program. I'm here to encourage you to take your energy back, pour your energy into yourself. If the world is going to HE double hockey sticks in a handbasket, I want you to enjoy the rest of the ride. That would be my hope for all of us. I don't believe that's what's happening to the world, but that does seem to be a big threat that, oh no, everything's wrong, everything, we gotta fix it. Or we take care of ourselves. And then if everybody's taking good care of themselves, how bad can it get? That's kind of my thought on that. We've got some weirdos here today. Oh my God. Hi, cute Savani. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hi, sweet girl. Hello. All right, I'm out of here today. Have a great afternoon. Have a great weekend at whatever time it is, wherever you are. Thanks for being here. We're here every single Sunday at 10 o'clock Pacific time here in Los Angeles, 1 p.m. Eastern. And we will go for there. We'll go from there. Have a good one. Take care, y'all.